Welcome back guys. So in this video I'll be trying out AMD's FSR 3 frame generation in Immortals of Aveum running on my Steam Deck using SteamOS. Yes, you heard it right. At the moment FSR 3 frame generation is available in only 2 games, Immortals of Aveum and Forspoken. Already tested the latter on Steam Deck using both Windows and SteamOS. Frame generation worked on Windows but did not work on SteamOS, and the game's display was flickering a lot on SteamOS after the FSR 3 update. I hope Valve fixes this soon. I don't own Immortals of Aveum. I just purchased EA Play Pro 1 month subscription. Its price in India is around rupees 1100. In US it's priced at around $15 US. So I'll be running the EA Play version of the game. Already shown you how to install EA Play on SteamOS via Steam itself. I've installed the game on an SSD SK Hynix PC711. This game is very demanding on the hardware. First person shooter game that deals with magic, developed by Ascendant Studios. Game has been a commercial failure. This led to Ascendant Studios laying off almost half of their staff. Now I have already done my testing in this game on Steam Deck running using SteamOS. Was surprised to see FSR 3 working even with frame generation turned on. Some people were saying that the game was crashing after enabling frame generation. It did not happen in my case. Was not expecting frame generation to work on SteamOS. Maybe it's due to the latest version of G-Proton. I use G-Proton version 8-16 as the compatibility layer. I am running SteamOS version 3.5 preview build on my Steam Deck. You can see the OS version here. OS build. Video driver Mesa 23.1.3. Now I'll launch EA Play using G-Proton version 8-16 as the compatibility layer. Steam Deck has an RDNA 2 based GPU, so at a hardware level it does support frame generation. We have already seen it working in Forspoken using Windows 11. AMD recommends using frame generation in games that are already running at least 60 FPS. This is for minimizing the input delay, latency, but it does not mean that we cannot use frame generation in games that are running within an FPS range of 35 to 40. It's just that there will be some input delay. I will be demonstrating this. There's the game Immortals of Aveum. Its size is around 55 GB. If you turned on frame generation when you had run the game for the first time, the next time you started it won't start at all. Keep crashing. I'll show you how to fix this. Exit from EA Play. You can just try using a different Proton compatibility layer. I use Proton Experimental. Launch the game. You can see it work. If even after changing the Proton compatibility layer game does not start for you, just exit from EA app. Tap on the settings cog here next to EA app, then tap on developer, then tap on delete Proton files. Now try using the same Proton compatibility layer or a different one. Game should be working. This game has insane system requirements. Under the minimum specification they have mentioned AMD Ryzen 3700X CPU, 8-core processor. Okay, I'll show you the performance tab. Overlay level set to 2, frame rate limit set to 60, refresh rate set to 60 as well. That's it. In-game settings, 800p resolution, AMD FSR 3. There's the option to enable or disable frame generation. First I've set it to off. I'll set AMD FSR 3 to off. We'll be checking out the rasterization performance. Graphics setting, everything set to low. Scroll down. Anisotropic filtering set to 4 times. All effects have been disabled. I'll skip the opening part tutorial. Straight away jump into the 3rd chapter. Alright, there's a character. Here we are getting around 20 FPS. Hitting the GPU bottleneck. 18 FPS. So now I'll just enable FSR 3. First I'll enable its anti-aliasing component. It won't use its upscaling component. Native AA. Frame generation disable. Anti-aliasing has been applied. Objects are looking more smoother now, not rough at the edges. FPS is around 17. Now I'll set FSR 3 to quality. This will help in reducing the GPU load, improve the game's performance. Okay, you can see FPS increased up to 26. So some kind of an upscaling technique is definitely working. FSR 3 GPU load is around 95%. Image quality is looking decent, not bad at all. Now I'll use balance preset. Yeah, now we are getting around 29 FPS. GPU load is around 94%. Image quality is still looking decent, slightly softer than the quality preset, not bad at all. So now I'll use the performance preset. There's an ultra performance preset as well, but this will make the image quality look very pixelated, not recommended at all. Performance preset. Okay, here FPS jumped up to 31. That's really good to see. GPU load is around 90%. FSR 3 is definitely working. Let me just look around. Some frame pacing issue is present, so it's recommended to cap the FPS to 30. Not bad. 28 to 31 FPS in this area. Later areas in the game are even more demanding. Okay, so now I'll enable frame generation on, and here you can see FPS increase from 30 to 50. I'll be just looking around, try to observe the smoothness. There is no way FPS can increase by this much by only the FSR 3 upscaling component. Frame generation is definitely working here. Frame pacing graph is erratic. It's not showing an accurate reading. I'm not observing any audio stuttering. Just go outside in a more demanding area.
That'll just make me mad. You've had 5 years to come up with an answer to that question. I'm tired of hearing what your friend Luna wanted.
For frame generation, guys, make sure in-game VSync is enabled. It's recommended by AMD. At the moment, it does not support VRR and G-Sync, even FreeSync.
No rivers, no fish, no need to fight if we starve to death first. And as Lucians, we love fish like you wouldn't believe, Jack.
You love it so much that no drinking water is more of a
This sequence is very demanding on the GPU.
Yes, sir.
Now I'll be going outside. You can see FPS dropped down to 30 there. We'll be engaging in combat. Back to the game. So what I'm going to do now is cap the FPS to 30. Here we go. I'll move the camera. Wow, the game feels so sluggish. This is not the ideal way to play the game. 30 FPS cap with frame generation. Instead of a 30 FPS cap, I'll just apply a 40 FPS cap. Refresh rate set to 40. Frame rate limit set to 40. There we go. Yeah, much better. Way better than before. Show you the input response. Jump by pressing the A key. Double jump by pressing the A key twice. Let's engage in combat. This game is very demanding on the CPU as well. So in some cases FPS can drop down to 30. I'll just follow the marker. There was a hitch there. Now 40 FPS with FSR 3 frame generation does not feel as smooth as the native 40 FPS without frame generation enabled. Sometimes animation looks smooth, sometimes it looks a bit stuttery, like this. Combatant.
They come.
Clearing the area. Bad guys. This is our shield. Magical effects look so cool. Stutter. Lasted for about a second. Oh no, they have a shield. I'm basically using all of my special abilities. Stress the processor. Open the gate. This game uses a lot of RAM. Oh no, low on health. I use the health crystal. There you go. Archers. Big guy. Check it out. Unlocked an ability. Now FSR 3 frame generation makes this game run in a playable state on Steam Deck. Not the ideal performance, I agree. I did observe some stuttering, but still with frame generation on, performance was better than without it enabled. Go back to the game. I hope more games supports FSR 3 and Valve fixes Forspoken soon. So I'll end the video here guys. I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.